Okay, so while Ben takes care of young Ivy there, let me let me break in here and say a few things. So Ben begins to talk about culture, and this is the thing that I am most into is culture. This is what Focus on Achievement Night is about. This is what our themes are about. They're about the setting of a culture. Now, next, I want to show you, before we get to part two of the Ben Mallue interview, I want to show you a short clip, 3 minutes long, of a person named Dan Coyle. Dan Coyle is an author, and he's written several books. The first book that he wrote that I became aware of, actually, Ben Mallue was the one that told me about this book. It's a book called The Talent Code. The Talent Code. And you'll see in the short 3 minute clip of Dan Coyle speaking, you'll see the Talent Code book pop up there on the screen. So about 10 years ago, he wrote this book. And he was trying to answer the question, where does talent come from? How does it happen? Is it natural? Is it born? Or can you develop it? That was basically the question of the book. And his response was, you can develop it. And so when Ben told me about this book a while back, I was so taken with it that I actually reached out to Dan Coyle, interviewed him, and I told him about what we do here at Cypress. I didn't interview him. I just wrote him an email. And don't you know, he wrote me back, and we had a short correspondence there 10 years ago when he first wrote the Talent Code. Well, here comes later, 10 years later, now he's got the Culture Code. So he applied the same methodology and the same question to how is talent developed? Is talent natural, or can it be developed? Well, how about culture? Is culture natural, or can it be developed? And if so, how is it developed? Well, when I saw that, I realized that's a book that I need to read. And I reached out to Dan Coyle again. Now, this time he hasn't written back to me yet. Still waiting for him to get back to me. Come on, Dan. Just you can't forget about the little gym teacher down here in Florida. But I want you to see what Dan Coyle says are the three things that make great culture. And you will recognize those three things because I stole those three ideas to lay down the foundations of great culture here at Cypress PE. So when you're watching the Dan Coyle interview, recognize and be on the lookout at the very end for the three things that make great culture. The thing is, you already know the answer to what they are. And then, after that, we will go straight to the second part of the Ben Mallue interview, in which Ben continues talking about culture and talking about a definition of culture. He also talks about the camp, Marauder Soccer Camp, what it was like there, and some other really cool things, because when he talks about that, you'll recognize a little bit the feeling he's talking about, because it's the same feeling that we're trying to create at PE. It's a special feeling, and it's hard to talk about it because it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to people what it is we do, but we all know that we do it, and we do it. We do it in an amazing way. You guys are amazing, by the way. Don't you forget that. So here comes Dan Coyle, followed by Ben Mallue, and then followed by a quiz.